the Death's Poker is notorious for being the most broken weapon in all of Elden Ring, as with its unique Ghost Flame Ash of War, you can destroy every single boss and enemy's health bar in literal seconds, even in New Game Plus 7. So today we're going to look at this incredibly broken weapon as I show you the best build you can create around it. But of course, first of all, I need to show you how you obtain this weapon, and it is something that you can pick up relatively easily. All you need to do is head to this particular location in Caelid, which is just southeast from the southern Ionia Swampbank site of Grace, and when you come to this location at night, there will be a Deathrite bird which is wielding the Death's Poker. Of course, all you need to do is then defeat this Deathrite bird, and you will have the most broken weapon in the game at your disposal. The other beautiful thing about this weapon is it requires very minimal stats in order to wield it, and if you mainly focus your stats into the intelligence side of things, you will very quickly have a weapon that's capable of doing tens of thousands of damage in literal seconds. Also, just for reference throughout the video, the gameplay that you're seeing in the background is from New Game Plus 5, so all of the damage that you're seeing could be far greater if you're in your first couple of playthroughs, but even still, like I said in the introduction, if you're in New Game Plus 7, which is the highest you can go in terms of difficulty level, you will still be doing the similar numbers you're seeing here, and where this weapon can also deal frostbite, it is extremely potent against every single enemy in the game. And here are the stats for the build that I was running at the time, and as per usual with these build videos, it is a level 150 character, so as you can see we've got 50 points into vigor, 20 into mind, 24 endurance, 15 strength and 17 dexterity, as those are the minimum requirements, before then pumping 60 points into intelligence, 33 into faith, before then leaving arcane at 10, which was my base stat, so essentially do not put any points into arcane. And of course, I know you're probably going to be asking a few questions about those stats, but just before we delve into those a bit deeper, I've got an incredibly important announcement to make. That is because it's a complete honor to say that today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. I'm sure most of you have heard of HelloFresh before, but if you haven't, they are America's #1 meal kit, prepared with fresh ingredients and the chef created recipes to go with them, which can all be delivered to your door. And the best part about it is where we are partnering together, I have the opportunity to offer you 16 free meals along with free dessert for life. Yep, I'm not joking. As I say, HelloFresh will be able to deliver everything to your door, so you'll no longer have to stress about making sure that you've got everything that you need for a particular meal, whilst also saving you money and helping you eat better, as you'll have over 45 recipes to choose from to help you make restaurant quality meals at home. But not only this, they also have over 30 calorie and protein smart recipes to help those of you that are maybe being a bit more strict with your diet, or those of you that are trying to hit macros whilst you're going to the gym. That personally has been a key factor for myself. As someone who tries to stay active whilst also creating videos like these, I tend to have an extremely busy schedule, and HelloFresh is an absolute lifesaver, as they will literally send me everything that I need, all pre-portioned, making my life an absolute breeze when it comes to meal prep. So if you're looking for a solution to your kitchen nightmares and want to save a load of hassle and money at the same time, then check out the pinned comment down below, as that will have the link to take you over to HelloFresh, or equally, as you've probably seen throughout this segment, you can use the QR code that has been on screen to also do exactly that. And if the coupon code doesn't already get applied as you go through the checkout process, make sure that you use this code that is coming up on screen. I don't know, I'm sorry, it's not the most catchy thing in the world, but make sure that you type POGHF132767, and that will use my unique code to get those 16 free meals and that dessert for life. And just to clarify, that dessert for life, you will get one dessert for free whilst your subscription is active for every box that you purchase. So yes, as I say, it's an incredibly unique offer for you guys. I really do think that you can benefit from it, so definitely go and check it out if you're interested. And of course, if you do go ahead and subscribe to HelloFresh, you will also be helping out the channel. So I also just wanted to say a huge huge thank you to HelloFresh for giving us this opportunity, and now that you've all claimed your free dessert for life, let's jump back into this insane Death's Poker build. So yeah, as we were saying before with the stats, this build is heavily intelligence based, and that is because with the Ash of War, intelligence is the thing that scales it the most and is the reason why we can do so much damage with it. As you are seeing in the background, every time that we use the Ash of War button, we are summoning that orb of ghost flame energy, which we can do multiple things with. Essentially, the orb itself will deal damage over time, so using it on top of enemies is extremely viable, as like I say, that itself will deal damage. But the main attribute of this Ash of War is you can then follow up with either a light attack or heavy attack to either make a trail of that ghost flame energy or create a mass explosion, the prior of which is the thing that's completely broken in the game, because essentially you can spam the Ash of War button along with your light attack to create multiple trails of ghost flame damage, which lasts about 5 seconds, dealing damage over time. And like I said earlier, this also procs frost, so with every tick of damage you're doing, both during the use of the Ash of War and afterwards, will all be contributing to that frostbite effect. Because of this, you're most likely going to proc it almost immediately, meaning that any attacks afterwards will be dealing 20% more damage. But of course, as much as that is the broken mechanic with this weapon, you can also use your heavy attack to create a large explosion of that ghost flame damage, which can be of course very useful for crowd control, or if you want to switch it up in a PvP sense, because they may say dodge thinking that you're going to do the trail, but then you do that massive explosion and catch them after they roll out the way. And then you're probably also wondering, why is there so much faith in this build? And the reason why we've got 33 faith is so that we can run both Golden Vow and Howl of Shibiri. Again, having those two will give us the best damage output possible, but specifically with Howl of Shibiri, you will also increase the damage that you take by 30%. So it is a risk versus reward kind of scenario. If you wanted to play it a little bit more safe, I would say drop the faith down to 25, and then that way you could potentially say rely on Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength for the physical side of the attacks and also the extra stamina regen. But in all honesty, most of the fights are going to be over before you get hit anyway, so if anything, with this particular build, it's kind of a little bit more safe to run the Howl of Shibiri. But either way, whether you use Howl of Shibiri or not, I do of course recommend using Terra Magica when you can, because you can stack all three, and I'll show the sort of damage outputs as a side by side right now, because I believe against this enemy I did around about 1300 with just Golden Vow and Howl of Shibiri, but then when I also implemented Terra Magica, that bumped it up to about 1800. So you can use all three, and it is obviously incredibly viable to do so, as that will greatly boost your damage output. And then again, with those numbers, when your enemies get affected by the frostbite, you will then do an extra 20% on top of the numbers you were doing already. But either way, no matter what incantations and spells you're running with this build, the following talismans are crucial again to get that ridiculously high damage output. So where we're going to be spamming the absolute hell out of the Ash of War, the Shard of Alexander is going to be our best friend to again greatly boost our damage output with that. But then we can also pair that with the Graven Mass Talisman to boost our sorcery damage, which does include the Ghost Flame Ignition by a further 8%. But then I also suggest using the Magic Scorpion Charm, as again that will also affect the Ash of War, giving it a damage boost of 12%, before then finishing off with the Ritual Swords Talisman to once again boost our damage output by 10% as long as we are at full HP. But if for whatever reason all of those incantations, spells and talismans aren't enough for you, you can of course increase the damage output even more with the Wonder Physic, and to do so I highly recommend that you run the Intelligence Knot tier as well as the Magic Shrouding Crack tier to get the +10 in intelligence along with the 20% boost to all magic damage, and that way you'll be getting a boost in damage from literally every single thing possible, bar the armor, which as you can see in the gameplay I'm running a little bit of a heavier armor just to protect me where I'm getting that extra damage intake from both Howl of Shibiri and the Magic Scorpion Charm. And if you wanted to copy the look, I am running the Great Helm along with Blythe's armor, before then finishing the look with the Raging Wolf Gauntlets and Scaled Greaves. But then the other side of it as well, and I haven't really spoken about it because I'm more focused on the weapon, is where we've got such a high amount of intelligence, we can run all sorts of different spells if you would like as well, and make a more versatile build using things like the Retter's Longbow to add that range, and have options like the Great Blade Phalanx to also deal a butt ton of poise damage. But as I say, this build is purely focusing on the Death's Poker, and this is how you're going to get the most damage out of it, especially if you're running a level 150 character. But by all means, if you've got more levels, pump them into intelligence as well as strength and dexterity, and you'll have a very powerful battle mage build using one of the most broken weapons that Elden Ring has ever seen. And just like that, that is everything that you need to know about the Death's Poker. I know a lot of people probably already knew about this weapon, but I still get a whole bunch of comments from you guys saying that you've just started playing the game, or you've come back to it and you're still finding new things that you didn't discover when you first played the game. And even if you knew the Death's Poker was a thing, hopefully this video has still served its purpose in showing you the absolute best build that you can make around it. But as we all know, I am not the best Elden Ring player, and I know that you guys are 10 times better than me, so if I have missed anything, feel free to let us know in the comments if there's any ways to make this even better than what it already is. But if you have enjoyed and are a big fan of the Death's Poker, then definitely hit that like button down below. And if you're new around here and want to stay up to date with all of the latest Elden Ring content, including more overpowered builds like this one, then make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well, because then that way you'll be one of the first to be notified when these videos get released. But other than that, I just wanted to say a huge thank you as well for watching. Of course, we've got the sponsor with HelloFresh for this particular video, and in all honesty, without you guys showing the support that you do for me and the channel, and spending your time to listen to little old me, opportunities like this wouldn't be possible. And hopefully I'm bringing you like a promotion that is actually somewhat viable to you guys. I know it is for me personally, because like I say, it's just really convenient to have everything delivered to me. So I'm hoping that I'm not alone in that fact, and it might be useful for one of you guys as well. And of course, if you wanted to check out HelloFresh and make use of that incredible deal that we have going, definitely make sure you click the link that will be in the pinned comment down below. But like I say, incredible things like having a sponsor like that is all possible because you guys show so much support, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm so grateful for that. And whenever a cool opportunity like this comes up in the future, I'll make sure it's definitely something that I think would be of interest for you guys, and like I say, try and bring you something that actually might be of use to you. But yeah, anyway, before I waffle on too much, I'm gonna let you guys go. Obviously have a blast with this build, because I can almost guarantee you that you will. Of course, let me know how you get on anyway, but I guess for now, I will catch you in the next video of whatever it is that we make. Bye bye.